New. BioStar is independently owned and operated with 24/7 emergency service and discounts to veterans. Call BioStar at 844-424-6782 or online at restorationbiostar.com. Well, the city of Clio remains under a boil water alert for a 48-hour stretch that's expected to likely last until tomorrow afternoon. City continuing to deal with as many as 3 recent water main breaks. The latest one said to have been considered the worst of the 3. The Michigan Supreme Court altering sentencing laws in this state, ruling that there will be no more automatic no parole prison terms for 19 and 20-year-olds convicted of murder here in Michigan. The court's opinion calling such a sentence cruel and unusual punishment, and that opens the door for scores of existing sentences to be reduced. China announced it's responding to President Trump's tariffs, raising its own tariffs on American goods to 125%. That retaliation coming after the White House announced its tariff on Chinese goods is up to 125% on top of an existing 20% levy. Pistons beat the New York Knicks last night, 115-106. The Pistons take on the Bucks tonight at Little Caesars Arena. They're going to tip that one at 7. Wings lost to Florida 4-1. Wings are going to be skating tonight on the road against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tigers are in Minnesota tonight against the Twins for the start of a weekend series. Great Lakes Loons defeated the Lugnuts in Lansing 3-2. Justin Rose is the leader that heading into the second round of the Masters has the top spot with a 7-under in yesterday's opening round. In college hockey's Frozen Four, Western Michigan beat Denver in double overtime 3-2, so the Broncos go on to face Boston University for the title tomorrow night. They're playing, of course, in St. Louis. And to cap this one off, chicken wings, popular item on the menu at a lot of restaurants, but there is one Major League Baseball player who says he is swearing off of wings anywhere for at least 5 years. According to a published report, New York Yankees outfielder Cody Bellinger, who is a one-time member of the Great Lakes Loons, claims he got food poisoning from eating wings last Monday night while watching the March Madness championship game at the Yankees team hotel in Detroit. That's 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox.
The keywords there are Yankees team hotel in Detroit. Maybe a chef that's a Tiger fan. Wow. All right, so Hal, congratulations, your work has paid off.
Hey!
Colt has been found safe and healthy.
All right.
According to the WNEM website, he is safe and sound.
All right.
Nicely done,
God,
Hal.
that didn't take you long at all, Hal. From your mouth to
God's ear,
apparently.
Hey, this is National Pet Day. We got to be kind to those guys. It is.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm going to have to stop and buy gifts on the way home.
No, you don't. Your pets don't know it's National Pet Day.
Oh, they do. They do, Hal. What did you get for Jocko?
He's going to have a double shot of some treats because really that's the only thing that he appreciates.
I gotcha. All right.
Oh, my goodness. All right, let's do this. 103.9 The Fox.
I'm telling you, had we not found Colt, Jacko was going to go out to look for him, and he would have found him. He would have. The forecast today calling for plenty of sunshine and highs reaching around 49, perhaps hitting 50 some areas. Winds out of the north at 5 to 10, gusting to 18 miles an hour. Clear skies tonight with temps down around 28. And then it's sunshine again for much of the day tomorrow as we top out around 54. For Sunday, clouds return along with the temps again up around 55. And right now it's 27 in Flint, in Saginaw 28.
In the house.
You have any pets?
So cute how you still think you're their favorite pet. Pets are called pets because you pet them.
Pet Day. Favorite pet?
Happy National Pet Day. So go.
It is. It's National Pet Day today. All right. Well, we did have a very, very, very short-lived drama just before we started our live stream today because the local sheriff's department had somehow misplaced one of their canines. The police dog named Colt went missing and had to be found, but apparently has been. I was going to send Jacko out to look for him because this dog actually was lost in an area I used to live in once upon a time. So I could have taken Jacko over there and we could have found possibly a good spot for where he hung out. But they managed to get him. I was just about to ask whether or not this dog had a microchip. is one of the police canines from the Genesee County Sheriff's Department that went missing for a short time. Don't know how that happens with a police dog, but it did. Anyway, here we are. Good morning to all of you who are joining us. It looks like most of you, as always, on YouTube. A bad mistake, says Canada Dan. Losing a police dog is unheard of. I've never heard of it, frankly. I don't know. And a sure and a tracker, yeah. Chris is here. Good morning to New Mexico. Joining us now, of course, as always, on YouTube. But we have good afternoon, Rapsuka. What food are we discussing? Oh, we got a lot of them. That's coming up on the food fight, but that's a ways off. Tina's here. Good morning to Tina in New Jersey. Morning to Ohio Kim. Ohio Kim is up early and joining us today. Sunshine Sheila's here from up in the land of Three Bridges, Bay City. Good morning to Sunshine Sheila. Eric joining us now from California, where he's been for a long time, and I want to point to that in just a little bit. We're going to acknowledge the fact that some of these folks who've been here have a real history with us, and Eric's one of those. So we're going to find out about that in a little bit, because I was looking through some old stuff yesterday and came across something I was surprised that I still had. But we're going to get to that in a little while. So good morning to all of you who are here on, it looks like every one of you straight across the border on YouTube, even though we normally on Fridays, as we do on Mondays and Wednesdays, come to you on YouTube, also Facebook, also Twitch. So hopefully we're going to see some folks on the other two that join us. If so, I'll relay messages from them to you. And by the way, if you're on YouTube, please be kind enough to like and subscribe if you haven't yet already done that, because we want to grow the group a little bit more so that we're able to make sure that everybody in the world knows about the Hal races around here. Fitzy is now here. He's answering the call for being on Twitch because he is from Saginaw, where it's Happy Friday. He's always a big fan of that. You have an assignment today. Fitzy's been a substitute teacher for a long time, and then he got a hold of some regular fifth graders, let them go into the wild, and now he's back again in the substitute role. You have a substitute's assignment today, Fitzy. No one in Twitch, says Rapsuka. Fitzy's there now. He just joined us from the Twitch land a little bit ago, so we're going to make sure that we get to him in a little bit. It is National Pet Day, Rapsuka. So if you have one, I don't know that I've ever asked you about if you do. Do you have any kind of animals or creatures of any kind in your home that you can salute today? Since it's National Pet Day, you have your 16-year-old Russian blue cat, Shadow, that you're going to spend the day with, all right? 103.9, Rapsuka says they need a new pet over there. What did you have? Or did you have at some point? Is that something you're going to get for the first time, or have you had one in the past? Because Jacko is the 8th dog that I've ever had. I have had one cat, and Jacko is the 8th dog. So if I should get him a jersey with his number on it. Frankly, should probably work out that well. Our area around here is something you might have caught on the news when I was starting this thing up this morning, but we are under, in this area, a boil water advisory until tomorrow because we've had no less than 3 water main breaks in this city just in the past 36 hours. So today's coffee actually was made with bottled water rather than the crap that normally comes out of the tap around here. And it tastes a little bit different because the coffee that comes from bottled water is far cleaner tasting. It doesn't have that metallic thing going for it. Another one of our long-timers is here again. Good morning, Sibo, who is joining us. And I will again point out the fact that after having seen some stuff that popped up yesterday that I didn't realize was still here, I'm going to go back and show you guys a little bit of nostalgia in the next few minutes after some other folks join us today. Some of the long-timers with us will remember and probably appreciate some of what I'm about to show you in the next few minutes. So hang around for that as much as you're able to do as we get ready for the weekend. And the weekend is going to be, let's see, Fitzy's saying 3 weeks from tomorrow, he'll walk as a college graduate 20 years later. I'm telling you what, sometimes good things are worth waiting for. And he's going to do that. Fitzy's going to do that 3 weeks from tomorrow. College graduate 20 years later. Check that out. Big congratulations to Fitzy, who is another one of those who's been with us. Another one who's going to be, he's been with us for a long time. And I'm not sure if did we ever acknowledge that? Yeah, we did. Here's another one. Fitzy's another one who's going to show up on this, what I'm going to show you guys in a few minutes here, because he's been around with us for just about as long as we've been firing these things up for 10 years on live stream. Now, also on Twitch, from Alabama, is Soaring Eagle 59. Everybody calls her Boss Lady, and so she's here. Couple of seconds, and you're going to be back on YouTube. Okay, well, fine, cool. Linda's here, another one of the long-timers. She's here from the township. Morning, Linda. And again, all of those who've been with us for a long time will probably appreciate what I'm going to show you guys in the next few minutes. In fact, I'm sure you will appreciate what I'm going to show you guys in the next few minutes on this 11th of April, the day that we get a chance to smile at Huckleberry, who is a mini golden doodle, lives in Green Lawn, New York. This is Huckleberry, who's being fenced in to stop the zoomies from taking him out of control. Because apparently he gets these, according to this page, he gets them like uncontrollably, and you can't catch him, so they had to put a pen around just so that he'd control his zoomies. Now on Facebook with us, Royal Rachel. Good morning, Royal Rachel. Now on the air with us, Johnny and Steph.
And one of our listeners chimed in on that. Let's see if I can find this again. Said, my brother, this is Tanya Madden Melch, who writes, my brother lives in Lewiston and has been without power, heat, and water now for 13 days.
Oh, what a nightmare.
There are still thousands without power. They say the damage is equal to a Category 5 hurricane. So people up there are pretty much suffering.
What do you do? I mean, I could never afford a hotel for 13 days.
Yeah, I don't know what some of these people are doing. Hopefully they've got friends that are downstate or something where they may be able to go. Or maybe there are community centers up there that have been opened. I don't know, but I'm assuming that there have been solutions to some of these issues. And, of course, some people are, lucky enough to have RVs and things like that to move into that have their own power because they've got, generators.
Right.
And a lot of people that live up north have generators for that very reason because the power.
Good point by you, sure.
Lloyd Trask writes, we were talking about bears in the Lower Peninsula. The DNR warning people about bears in the Lower Peninsula. There are quite a few of them. What do you say, about 1,000 of them, I think. Now.
I think that's what you said, yeah.
And Lloyd writes, I just found some bear scat in my backyard here a couple days ago. We're walking my dog. Don't they live around? I know they live around here, but I don't know specifically where.
I know they live in Flint, but I'm not quite sure what part of Flint.
So there is some of that happening out even in Flint.
Yikes.
It's 7:12 right now, 12 minutes after the top of the hour. Don't forget Fox Big Deals before you go out this weekend. FoxBigDeals.com is a must. You're going to save up to half off, up to 50% at your favorite local businesses, including restaurants. There's a lot of people doing that on the weekend. Other services and more. You can find them all categorized very neatly for you, so it's easy to find what you're looking for. And you can print them off right at home at FoxBigDeals.com.
The Fox Home Morning Show. Johnny Burke and Steph coming up.
Hey, this is the big hour. We know, because we are sitting here with less than 10 minutes until we give you an opportunity to be the first one signed up for next week's $1,000 giveaway on our $1,000 Thursday. Yesterday, Todd Gooding of Schwartz Creek won. He was week number 2 winner. We're doing this every Thursday, and there will be 4 opportunities today and every weekday right up until next Thursday's drawing for you to get registered to win that. The first one coming up here in less than 10 minutes, around 7:20. And then, of course, that'll be followed up. Steph's Fox Flashback and Porn Star or Weatherman with Steph Barber all coming up here in the next 20 minutes on the Fox.
That's a whole lot of stuff. It's a service of Michigan Lumber Company. Thinking about a new deck or replacing an existing deck in your backyard? PVC is the way to go. And Michigan Lumber is the go-to source for quality deck products. See them all at MichiganLumber.com.
Okay, we'll do the traffic, and then after that, I'm going to show you guys a blast from the past. And the other thing I want to do is try to make this daggone camera iris behave. I don't want it to make it look like we're overheating here, like it's kind of doing right now. Just started doing that too. I don't know what's up with that. So let's see if that's going to work. I don't know that that's going to work. Maybe it'll kick in when I do what I'm going to do here in a minute. Anyway, so I'll do what we can. I'll do what we can to be able to relay the information that we have coming in from 3 different sources, since YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch are now in operation, and we have representatives on all of them. Looks like the generator that Linda is going to be depending on is DOA and needs parts. May cost too much to fix. Oh, wow. Yeah, the ice storms that hit up north of here apparently are still leaving lingering effects in terms of damage, power outage, all this kind of thing. This is eerily reminiscent of those ice storms that hit our area back in 2K13 at Christmas time. Lost power for 3.5 days here. There are some people, as you might have heard on the air just a bit ago, who have lost power for as many as 13 days up to this point.
Remember, if you're a GM or UAW employee or retiree, Professional Hearing Clinic is part of the UAW hearing program, which means that you and your spouse are most likely covered for hearing aids.
All right.
And for the rest of us, most of the Advantage policies are.
Got the food fight coming up a little later on. Got the Friday morning primal scream coming up in a little while too. So that's coming up. And it's National Pet Day. I will tell you once again, it's National Pet Day. So you have one extra special salute, maybe extra treats, extra walks, whatever it is that makes yours happy. That is unquestionably nothing but treats for Jacko will do for him. So he gets a couple of extras today, I guess.
Kingsford's Creek is your local mid-Michigan authorized Woodmaster dealer. Schedule your free estimate today by calling 810-569-0115 or by visiting them online at modernoutdoorfurnaces.com. Gross Mower Sales in New Lothrop is your local country clipper headquarters, featuring the latest zero-turn mowers like Boss.
Kim wishes she was home to love on her. Can they not bring those in to you?
Gross Mower Sales will have the perfect country clipper model that fits your style and needs, whether it's a small lawn or much larger. Check out the country.
If you're talking about being there for a few days,
314 Ditch Road in New Lothrop. Open Monday through Friday 9 to 6, Saturdays 9 to 1. Call 810-638-5146 or online at grossmowersales.com. Looking for a
Whoops.
hassle-free car buying experience at RPM
watching
Auto
Rory
Sales.
McIlroy putt right into the lake.
For everyone, regardless of your credit
Been there.
history. Say goodbye to expensive
He's at the
coverage insurance with
playing in
RPM
the Masters
Auto
tournament
Sales.
today in Augusta,
That's all.
Georgia.
Saving money while cruising this summer. Why are you waiting? Visit RPM Auto Sales today and choose from our wide selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. Our team's here to help you get the car you need at a price you'll love. Your road to summer adventure starts at RPM Auto Sales. Having sore feet at the end
Trying to get, speaking of something in the past, as I'm going to be showing you in a bit,
so get your feet into the right kind of
just started a few months ago, well, not months ago, just a few days ago, trying to get it reacquainted with my MyFitnessPal app to try to get the weight back under control a little bit. It's not out of control really, but it is a little bit higher than I need it to be, so I'm trying to go back to the calorie counts and monitoring for a bit to see if we can get that back on. It shouldn't be too awful difficult because we're not too far off the track, but I don't want to let it get that way. MyFitnessPal app, which is always amazing for helping with that when we're doing that weekly weight loss thing. And that goes back 7 years now. Still got the problem in Flint of a crash cleanup going on Glenbrook Lane, a little bit south of Atherton Road. And as you're traveling down south on 75 into Oakland County, still have the cleanup of a crash on Dixie Highway, or at least just after Dixie Highway on 75. Only the left lane has been open because that's a work zone. You have the right lane blocked over there. If you spot a crash, let us know at 810-230-WRSR. That is 810-230-9777. Be a traffic tipster right here on 103.9 The Fox.
Hey, it's still too early to call, but it's coming up. Stand by. $1,000 up for grabs. You need to qualify. We'll give you that opportunity in the next few minutes here on The Fox.
Okay, reacquainted. Let's get reacquainted with old times. Old times. See, of all of you who have been here for a good deal of time throughout the years, here on our live stream, wherever it's been, Periscope, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, anywhere that we've been. Let's see how many of you who've ridden the rapids with us all that time remember this. These were our closing credits at the end of all of our broadcasts that we would do on Periscope years ago. We go back with this 8, 9, 10 years to see all the people that helped put this thing together. I happened to find out that I still had it in my pack of stuff around here. Eric remembers that. He should. He was on it. Eric remembers this because he was there. He was right over here. Our autistic musicologist, and he's served that way for years. All these people that were part of the cast and crew and cabinet of our group at the time. No Finland there. That's because Finland was not being represented at that time, Rapsuka, on a regular basis. Boss Lady has only been maybe 2 or 3 years, but that's still a long time for our group. We've got people who are here right now who were here then. Sibo is one of them. Fitzy's another one. I guess we're going to try to qualify somebody for $1,000 there. So these are the people that we ignite. There were a whole bunch of other people that have been with us, and probably if we ever reestablish something like that, we'll really need to get a whole bunch of positions filled. We could do things like that because we got a whole bunch of people who have been here for quite a while who've been able to maybe qualify to get jobs around here with our group. Linda, for example, who has been here almost since day one and has had 9 names to be able to prove that. Every place that we've gone, there's been a different name, so we really need to get a different title. I mean, for every time, like Cake Queen, for example, she could be Cake Queen. She's the one who's been doing all these times, she's been doing the word of the day, so could possibly be communications director, perhaps vocabulary vixen, perhaps. I don't know. Tina's been here a long time. She could be our master chef. How about Sheila? Brings the sunshine all the time. She could be our atmospheric administrator. There's all kinds of things we could do with that. Maybe if we ever reinstitute this. But this is the thing that we did a long time ago. At the end of the show, is we always had our closing credits. And some of those people are still here. Still here. Boss Lady thinks she could be the class clown. Were you once upon a time? Boss Lady, were you once upon a time? Chris should be the IT guy. You could be the IT guy. Coffee today made with water from the bottle, not from the tap. Because we in this town are under a boil water advisory through probably tomorrow. Boss lady, in fact, has a reputation. Why do you think you always hated to go home after school? She says it was because knowing that they'd called her mom and told her that she, boss lady, would not shut up. So you'd say that you had a big mouth, huh? Boss lady, would you say that? That you had a big mouth? You know, that is measurable. We could measure that. We've got one in Alaska that, in fact, had her mouth measured. Well, this isn't the kind of water problem like Flint had. This is a whole different thing, Chris. This is just broken water mains. And there have been 3 of them in this city just in the past, I think, 36 hours, which is kind of unusual. And they're all around here in this general area. You were in the back of science class and would yell out, "Yo, Wilson," to the teacher. And so you ended up in the front of the class because they didn't trust you back in the back of the class. You were too lippy. You know, there's as I said, a woman in Alaska who had her massive mouth. Yes, the woman with a big mouth, such as yourself, admittedly, right? Had her mouth measured by a dentist, and it broke the Guinness record for the largest gape. Opening her mouth. Hold on. Yo. Okay, cool. Thank you. Holly Road. Oh, that's way down in Oakland County. All right. Do we go to the golf course again this year? For one of the tournaments, they will be going, yeah, but that's, I think, in August. One of the senior, that's the senior tournament that they have, where Johnny and Steph will be broadcasting from the course. Tina says she always uses bottled water. Coffee machines today suggest it. Okay, I've never looked at the coffee machine instructions to see about that. All I know is that the coffee tastes pretty good today. John and Steph back again with us.
103.9 The Fox Local Contest for local listeners.
Good morning, the Fox is on our phone.
Hi, this is Diane.
Diane, how are you this morning?
I'm very glad it's Friday.
Yeah, you and me both. Listen, how would you like to qualify for $1,000?
That'd be awesome.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
All right.
Woohoo!
You are
What a way to finish the week.
good, perfect. Yeah, that really is, isn't it? So every weekday we give you 4 opportunities. This was the first one heading into next week's grand prize drawing next Thursday. $1,000 Thursday will happen at 7:20 on that morning. We will draw from all 16 finalists that we have. At that point, you're number 1, by the way. Congratulations from 103.9 The Fox.
Thank you so much.
And remember, when all the other radio stations do nothing but national contests and give away their stuff to Drywood, Kansas listeners or Beaver City, Nebraska winners, we give them all away here. Where was Diane from?
She was from Gaines.
From Gaines.
Gaines, yes.
Give away in Gaines, Durand, Flint, Burton, Flushing.
Benton,
Yeah.
Ohio.
All local winners on 103.9 The Fox.
Wigville. Rob Suka thinks tap water's the best. Not if it comes to the pipes around here, it's not. Flint is just in the process of clearing things up there, and that's been a long process, but it's working now. This woman with the 2.98-inch measurement, if she opens her mouth the widest it can go, she's from Ketchikan, Alaska. It is 2.98 inches from lip to lip. And let me show you. This is my ruler that I can show. That means she goes, I might as well say 3 inches, right? So that's right here. From here to here. That's a record. She can open her mouth that wide. From top lip to bottom lip. 2.98 inches. From top to bottom. That's how wide she can open her mouth. I can't do that. Oh, not even close. Not even close. So don't say anything about the big mouth of the guy on the live stream. Don't ever say that. Don't ever say that. Ever. All right? Okay. So. Yes, that's the song, Rock You Like a Hurricane. Everybody's on top of that one today, which means that if you guys can hear it that well, there's a pretty good chance that we're going to get flagged by YouTube at some point on that. Watch that. This publishing company is objecting to the fact you're playing all their songs. Everybody can identify them. Rob Suka says dentist time. For me, because that's not going to be until mid-July, and when that happens, it'll be the first time with his brand new dentist. That is going to be a traumatic experience. I've had the same dental practice for 35 plus. Oh, well, no. Geez, ever since I was 6 years old, I've been going to the same dental practice, but just through 3 different dentists over the course of that time. And now we're going to start with a new one, who is a little closer here, instead of running all the way down an hour drive from here to get to him. Eric can't open his mouth that wide. That's probably a good thing. Boss lady just loves to talk. She can't really open her mouth that wide, just loves to talk. And thus avoids dentists now. Tina's dad always said, never use tap water, old pipes. Doesn't that get filtered through the coffee machine, though? I mean, isn't that the reason why you have a filter? I mean, I would never use tap. I don't like to drink tap water straight out of the tap ever. And that goes back to being a kid in the playground where the only water that you could drink that was even remotely cold came out of this fountain in the middle of the park, and it was like drinking liquid metal. And then you'd go to school, and again, in the hallways would be drinking fountains that tasted like that same liquid metal crap. And then you would go to any other public building, like even a supermarket, sometimes they have them. Again, liquid metal is all you're drinking. Hated water until bottled water came along. But it seems to me that the coffee filters and the machines are supposed to filter that out. Because they have up to now for me.
We've got 3 more opportunities to do that today. 11:20 with Steve Driver and 2:20. Yeah, they give him extra. That's why all of the winners end up being his guys. But he's going to be giving you the chance to sign up at 11:20 and then again at 2:20 and then, of course, 5:20 this evening. You'll get that opportunity with Roy Moore on your way home from work. And then we take the weekend off. We started up Monday morning at 7:20 again, when we will give you yet another opportunity to win that $1,000. And it's going to be every Thursday for the foreseeable future. It's the Spring of Ka-Ching on 103.9 The Fox. So keep listening for your chance to get in on it. It's 7:32 just ahead. We've got porn star or weatherman and Steph's Fox flashback. So if you want to play porn star or weatherman, you got to be the third caller right now, and you're going to get your choice of prizes. And we have Creed tickets for August 23rd.
Yep.
With the with Mammoth V.
Mammoth WVH.
I can never
And
remember
Hinder.
that. And Hinder and all in that concert. And of course we have the Tiger tickets for next weekend and the following week. The first half of the following week, we've got 2 sets of, or actually about 3 or 4 sets of Tiger tickets, 2 different opponents. It's Kansas City Royals on the weekend, and then the San Diego Padres Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of the following week. And you can pick those instead, or the $41 Jester's gift certificate in honor of their 41st anniversary. They're giving you $41 to spend at Jester's. Yeah, all of those prizes up for grabs if you want to get a chance at them. 810-230-9777, the number to call. You are caller number 1, so sorry. You're number 2. 103.9 The Fox. Who is is on my phone? Rob. Rob.
Ooh.
Rob.
Rob.
Rob, congratulations. You made it in as caller number 3.
Awesome.
And I'm not even sure what that means, but that means that you're going to play Porn Star Weatherman with Steph. And do you know your porn stars, or you think Steph's going to beat you on this one?
She'll probably win, but I'll give a stab at it.
He says because his wife is listening. Rob, hold the line. We're going to get to you. We're going to play that coming up next here on the Fox.
Foxhole Morning Show. Johnny Burke and Steph on the way.
All right, directly on the other side of this, we've got both Porn Star Weatherman, and then right into Steph's Fox Flashback, yet another chance for you to win here on the Fox.
And it's a service of Michigan Lumber Company. Thinking about a new deck or replacing an existing deck in your backyard? PVC is the way to go, and Michigan Lumber is the go-to source for quality deck products. See them all at MichiganLumber.com.
Hometown feel?
Okay, anybody who's just now tuning into our live stream, it is not 100 degrees down here in the Hal hole today, even though my face appears to be that way because of the camera overshooting as far as the iris is wide open now, and it shouldn't be. I don't know why that happened that way. So let me see what's going on here. Okay, that's cleared down there, so that's not a problem anymore. That's what John told us about. Still got a couple things going on here. Still got a couple things happening. And an hour away from the Scream. Friday morning Primal Scream. Getting ready for yet another rockin' weekend here. We are, well, I know 6 weeks from now I'm going to be sitting there getting ready for a three-day weekend, because that'll be Memorial Weekend, because that will mean the unofficial start of summer around here. We're 70 days away from the actual start of summer. Rob Suka, in answer to your question, 70 days away from summer, officially. Let's see here.
Now's a great time to stock up on Del Monte canned vegetables. Select varieties are on sale for only $1 each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Sketch out your next home improvement project on a napkin or a placemat. And
Boss
take it to the
Lady's
box store.
parents go through coffee makers like crazy. They're both deeply addicted to coffee then.
Next time, bring that project to Iverson's Lumber, where they specialize in getting things done with experts on everything from windows and doors to kitchens and decks. Make your project happen with the help of Iverson's in Highland and Montrose, where, oh yes, they'll call you back.
Spring is in the air, so why aren't you? Fly from Flint Bishop and enjoy daily nonstop service on American.
Hi.
Low fares and affordable parking make FNT an amazing value. Book your next adventure at bishopairport.org.
Looking for a hassle-free car buying experience at RPM?
Tina, do you filter the water that comes through your shower head?
Everyone, regardless of your credit history, say goodbye to expensive full coverage insurance. With RPM, you only need PLPD. That's all. Saving money while cruising this summer. Why are you waiting? Visit RPM.
Well, that's tough to, boss lady, tough to hear that.
Our team's here to help you get the car you need at a price.
One of the things about the folks that join this group is they try to tend to help to lift you up in times when you need that.
Are you or a loved one suffering from chronic back or neck pain? Join Hurley for a free educational seminar about the future of spine health and motion preservation surgery on Thursday, April 17th at 5 p.m. at Brick Street in Grand Blanc. Attend this event led by Dr. Mark Moisey, Director of Neurosurgery, to learn how motion preservation surgery is transforming lives by relieving chronic pain. Register for this free virtual event at hurleymc.com/live. Hurley Neurological Center, Mid-Michigan Center for Brain and Spine Disorders.
The attorneys at ADAM, the American Divorce Association for Men, are dedicated to representing men in divorce. They win cases and deliver justice. Make sure your rights are protected to, call Adam, 810-244-ADAM, 810-244-2326, or AdamFamilyLaw.com.
Traffic. 103.9 The Fox.
Vehicle City traffic.
New problem on southbound 75 to slow you down. This is going to be just before the ramp to Dixie and Saginaw Road. We have a crash reported there. Also in Flushing Township, the 8200 block of North McKinley Road, we've got a crash. And in the city of Flint, we continue cleaning up the one from earlier, that mishap on Greenbrook Lane, just south of Atherton Road. For updated Vehicle City traffic information as you go on through your day, check out ClassicFox.com/traffic. And if you happen to spot a problem, let us know at 810-230-WRSR. That is 810-230-9777. To be a traffic tipster right here on 103.9 The Fox.
It's time for porn star or weatherman. Put your hands where we can see them.
You know, I was thinking yesterday, I was kind of upset that I'm not allowed to put the show prep hours
Right.
on a timesheet.
Yeah.
But I decided just to do it for love of the show anyways.
See how you, just for the love of the show.
Yes, I do it for you.
Our contestant today is Rob McCusek, who clearly knows his porn, or he wouldn't have called in the first place. How you doing, Rob?
All right.
Where you live, man?
Lemon.
Hey, do you work outside the home?
Yep.
Where do you work?
Self-employed.
All right, man. So
He's got a great voice, doesn't he?
really does. Yeah, he's talking like a porn star. All right, Rob, here we go.
All right, Rob, I'm on a bit of a winning streak.
She kind of is. Kind of hard to beat her at her own game. She is the queen of porn. So if she says something, you might want to buy it. But then again, she can be fooling you. So you got to get it right 3 times before she fools you 3 times in order to win. Rob has chosen the $41 gift certificate in honor of their 41st anniversary at Jester's. All right, here we go. First name on the list here, Steph, is Joseph Dames.
Joseph Dames.
Dames. I love them Dames.
I do too. Joseph, I, for no good reason at all, am going to say porn star.
Porn star, according to Steph. What do you say to that one, Rob?
I'm going to disagree.
You disagree? And you know what? You'd be right. Yeah.
Oh, nicely done,
Joseph
Rob.
Dames is a weatherman in Oregon.
Oregon, all right.
All right. Preston Parker.
Preston Parker. You know, there's that double P thing that broadcasters love so much. I'm going to say weather person.
All right. Steph says weather person to Preston Parker, and your answer to that one.
I'm going to disagree again.
I disagree, and you'd be right. Yeah, he's a porn star. For sure.
Shut up.
Yeah. Preston Parker is a porn star.
Well, my goodness. Good. Well, Rob,
Obviously, Rob spends his days watching porn.
we knew what you did yesterday.
All right, here we go. Next one, Rob. It's Steph. Woody Fox. Woody Fox.
Woody Fox. Oh, my.
Not a cardboard fox. He's a Woody
He's
Fox.
a Woody Fox.
Yeah.
Or a fox with, never mind. I'm going to say, I am going to say that he is a porn star.
What do you say to that one, Rob?
I'm going to go with a weatherman.
You're going to go with what?
Weatherman.
Oh, weatherman. You're saying
So he's disagreeing. I said porn star, he said weatherman.
he said weatherman.
Yep.
He's disagreeing. He's wrong.
Ha
Steph got one right.
ha! All right.
He's a porn star. All right, let me see. Anwar Knight.
Anwar Knight.
Anwar Knight.
Anwar, you know, I have not come across that name in all of my show prep. And I've done my share of show prep. I'm going to say weather person.
And Rob, what do you say? You agree?
Yep.
And Rob is a winner.
Rob! Nicely done.
Congratulations. You got yourself a good $41 gift certificate to Jester's, and you get to say it loud and proud.
I know more about porn than Steph Barber, Rob.
I know more about porn than Steph Barber.
Nicely done. Thank you.
Have a great day, Rob.
Thank you.
All right, you know what time it is?
The Foxhole Morning Show on 103.9 The Fox. Steph's Fox Flashback.
On December 26th of 2012, they performed at the CBS televised Kennedy Center Honors in a tribute to Led Zeppelin, along with an orchestra, 2 choirs, and Jason Bonham on drums. They performed a version of Led Zeppelin's signature song, Stairway to Heaven, and that rendition earned a standing ovation from the crowd and tears of joy from Robert Plant. It was really something to watch.
We played it on this show.
We have, yes. That video went viral on YouTube with over 4 million views in the first 5 days after the show. It's incredible. I'm going to put it up again on the Fox Facebook page. Let's get into it from their 1980 album, Bebe Lestrange. It's Hard for Lisa, not Julie, on 103.9 The Fox.
Yeah, it was an awesome. As a matter of fact, this particular, when I showed you guys the old credits sheet, one of the names that's down at the bottom of this credit sheet is the one who had clued me in at the time to look up that video of Hart doing the version of Stairway to Heaven that was performed at the Kennedy Center Honors, and said that is the best version maybe ever, and even better than the original. And so eventually I got around to seeing it, and I have seen it a bunch of times since, because it absolutely is as good as you can get on that song. And Wilson got some pipes. And beyond that, they also had an awesome arrangement of it with the choir that they put in the background that were wearing those bowler hats. That was kind of like the theme of that. I don't know why, but that was kind of like the theme of that thing. They all came on, the choir, and then the other gals that were in there, all of them. Just doing a terrific job with that song. And of course, it was a huge one, and got particularly toward the end when the back choir came on. That was when I thought Jimmy Page was going to fall out of the balcony when he was so surprised to see that one, and saw how smiling he was when he saw that. Okay, now back is Rachel. Royal Rachel is now with us on YouTube again, ready for a big weekend. I know in the studio they tend to dance around over there on Fridays. You know, I do remember this move on Fridays over there. I used to do that all the time. That thing that they do over there. Well, since it's National Pet Day today, there's a pretty good chance I'm going to have to post something from His Highness. So I'm going to have to put something up, and I don't know what yet, but believe, it's not like I don't have. Yeah, they got the good memory, of course. You can't forget this dance. You can't. Can't. No. Not like I don't have enough video and photographic footage of him, His Highness, who I was going to send out to try to find that police dog. Royal Rachel, did you hear about that? They have since found him, but for whatever stupid reason, the Genesee County Sheriff's Department lost their dog, one of their canines, for a brief time, right in the area I used to live. So I was going to send Jacko out because he would have found him. Jacko would have found him. He has like this magic power to find any dog in the neighborhood and then just air it out at him. Yep. No police dog. It was Colt that had gotten loose. I don't know how. I heard a police dog get missing before, but Colt was missing for a short time. Has been found. Didn't take very long, obviously. I was openly questioning at the time, did he have a microchip? But didn't need to worry about that. So I wonder if that's going to mean discipline. What do you do for disciplinary? They do it for, law enforcement. If there's a police officer who goes rogue or something, sheriff's deputy, they get penalized for that. There's punishment. What do you do for a deputied police dog that suddenly gets loose and goes somewhere? How do you handle that? Take away his treats for a day? What do you do? Eric remembers when you and Will did that on Periscope on Live. Eric is our autistic musicologist and has been, according to our old credits sheet, he has been that forever. And remembers even when you were doing your thing with your then partner over there. Like Steph is Johnny's partner now.
The Hart Sisters with Even It Out. That one for Lisa, not Julie. Man, I love that song. I love Hart, you know?
Yeah, they're all right.
They are. And listen, if you love Hart, they will be in Detroit at the Fox Theater along Woodward Avenue on June 4th. I think they were at Pine Knob last year, I think, but
Yeah, I believe they were.
the Fox Theater is a great place to see a show if you've not ever been there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now, with the trivia question, the phone number that you'll need, 810-230-9777. Just like Lisa, not Julie, it could be your song that I play on Monday. Requests, dedications, birthdays, anniversaries, maybe a song you haven't heard for a while. You can send all of that to Steph@ClassicFox.com, and I'll get that on the air for you. You are playing for a plethora of prizes. We've got that pair of tickets for Creed. We've got another Jester's $41 certificate, and we've got all of those upcoming Tigers games. So here is the question. What fast food restaurant fired Ann Wilson before Hart really took off?
I remember reading something about
We
this.
talked about this a few times on the air, yes.
You think I can remember it? Hell
Oh,
no.
yeah.
All right, let's go to the phone.
Good morning, the Fox. What fast food restaurant fired Ann Wilson? Hello?
Hello?
I'm just focused.
No. Good morning, the Fox. What fast food restaurant fired Ann Wilson?
Was it McDonald's?
It was not McDonald's, no. Good morning, the Fox. What fast food restaurant fired Ann Wilson?
Jack in the Box.
It was not Jack in the Box, no.
Oh, man.
Thank you. Good morning, the Fox. Do you have an answer for us?
It was not Jack in the Box. I do. Burger King.
It was not Burger King.
Nope, not Burger King.
All right. Good morning, the Fox. What fast food restaurant fired Ann Wilson?
Well, KFC?
Yes.
It was.
Nicely done. It was KFC, yeah. In fact, when they got their first platinum record,
Right.
Ann sent it to Colonel Sanders as a thank you.
No kidding.
She says that if she hadn't gotten fired from KFC, she'd probably still be working there. But as it was, when they fired her, she put all of that time and effort into Hart, and it really took off from there.
Wow.
So there you go. Who's on our phone this morning?
This is B. Lloyd.
Big Lloyd?
Yep.
All right. What are you doing, Big Lloyd?
I'm sitting there out there in the backyard waiting for a bit of come by. I haven't seen none yet.
All right. You hang on tight. We'll get some info off the air. We'll figure out what prize you're going to take. But you've got something cool coming. And who just hooked you up with Steph's Fox Flashback?
That's from 103.9. Fox.
So there you go. And you can't see him because all of you are on YouTube, but he's over on Twitch right now. Billy D, our left-handed traffic reporter, is with us from Connecticut for the first time in a minute, he points out accurately. He's been busy because he's in retail and he's a manager. Those guys are always doing something. What's up, Billy? How you been? They found him. Oh, yeah. Boy, I'm telling you, we're getting an awful lot of crazy delay in this thing. I mean, comments that I made like a half hour ago are finally getting answers. That's crazy. I'm just starting to see some answers come back on the lost dog thing. All right, now we're finding here from Billy D. He says, this is some news. His Chihuahua Lily is now insulin-dependent diabetic. That's news.
Attention, all Mega Millions players. Your new $5 Mega Millions update is in
Yes, this dog went AWOL, Royal Rachel, briefly. Thankfully, only briefly. We had a situation here, since we're talking in terms, 16 years old is Lily, this insulin-dependent diabetic Chihuahua that Billy D has. Huh.
Thank you for playing the Michigan Lottery. Goodbye. Knowing your limits is always the best.
We had a story here a few minutes ago, Billy. You missed it because you were busy being a retail manager. But one of the local police dogs went missing briefly around here. The sheriff's department lost its canine for a bit. I could still never figure out how that can happen because those guys are really closely monitored. They're really tightly attached to their handlers. But in this particular case, the dog did get away somehow, but was only left wandering for a short time before he was recovered. And he's okay and everything's cool. And I was openly wondering, how do you discipline a dog that goes AWOL from the police department? How does that happen? This is also, by the way, since we're talking about the dog, Billy, this is Lily and Billy. What a team you guys are. This is National Pet Day. This is National Pet Day, so an extra treat or some type of consideration for Lily today, the 16-year-old Chihuahua. Okay, over the course of time, Chihuahuas are usually pretty energetic dogs. Would you say over 16 years that Lily has continued at that high energetic level, or is she backing down a little bit? Now, Tina, going for this one, not Tina, this is the other half of that Thelma Louise team, Linda, saying he wasn't lost, he was taking a donut break because it's a police dog. Aha. She can be crazy. Lily can be crazy. All right. Did you ever have to give Lily a pen to stop the zoomies like we did with this one? This is coming up. We're going to show you our smile source a little bit. And this is a dog that was prone to zoomies, and so they built him a pen so that the zoomies could be controlled and they would never be able to lose him like the police apparently lost their dog for a bit. Aw. Never, huh? Okay. Now, see, Billy's comments are right on top of things. As soon as I make the comment, he's answering. But on YouTube, answers are coming into comments that were made like 20 minutes ago. So this is going to be a blast when we get to our food fight in a bit. We may have to carry that all the way into 10 o'clock. Didn't that happen last week? Didn't we do that? I think we did. Maybe there's something about YouTube that's real slow. Real slow. Tim Fan is here. This is as it turns out, we've been talking about him in the terms of being a fellow who is constantly high on the roof, because that's where he's doing stuff, our resident roofer. And then I showed you pictures yesterday. I did this, Tim Fan. I showed them pictures yesterday of your artistry in putting together a bathroom. Everybody was impressed. You're going to be getting calls because people around here want houses. They can't afford the ones they have. They want to live in a new one, and you're going to have to build them one.
More than 500,000 visitors to Holland when they have this thing. The iconic Tulip Time Festival is Friday, May 2nd through Sunday, May 11th. Every year I say I'm going to go to this, and every year I don't go. I'm going to try and make it this year. It's just the pictures from there look amazing.
They do.
Tina has now moved over to Twitch.
Oh, wow.
She finds it's better to make your dog's food to suit their diet. It's healthier.
Yeah, Grand Rapids area, so, figure that, 2.5.
So it would be a doable day trip.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
There are a lot of hotels, but you got to book them now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like we said, 500,000 people are showing up there, so there's going to be a lot of hotel rooms taken up. They planted 640,000 tulips across downtown parks and roadways for this one. More than 100 varieties of late-blooming tulips were planted. Seeds imported from the Netherlands. Visitors can see 5 million to 6 million blooming tulips.
Wow.
From the Windmill Island to the Veldheers Tulip Farm, apparently. Tulip Time recently named one of the best flower festivals in the country by USA Today's 10 Best list, which we've been mentioning a lot lately because Michigan has made it onto a lot of those lists this year.
Tina's going back to YouTube. She was butting in on Twitch.
I swear to go every year and every year.
Stunning like me? Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. You meant
you were
Yeah, it looks stunning.
I'm sorry.
And like you, I always say that I'm going to go every year, and every year it gets behind me, and I don't go.
I heard that the way I wanted to hear it.
I know you did. Like you hear most things, I think.
Here's something everybody wants to hear. It's kind of a cool thing. You want to be a nurse. Michigan is actually offering student loan repayment now to recruit and retain nurses. So if you've got a kid that's in their senior year of high school, you might want to start thinking about this. The program provides up to $300,000 in tax-free funds to successful applicants for the repayment of student loans in 2-year increments. That's huge. So the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services announcing this on Thursday, April 3rd. So heads up to somebody wanting to go into nursing in the state of Michigan. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, or somebody thinking about a career change.
Exactly. You're not going to be a nurse.
You picked up on that, didn't you?
7:59. Well, you like porn way too much. So nurses and porn, that's like a common theme. You got to be careful. I'm here to take your temperature, sir. All right.
Stop it right now.
Head over to the Hal for all the real news now. Here's Hal Maas.
5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox, brought to you by Thick Landscape Supplies. As we spring into the new season, it's time to get that driveway in shape with tons of driveway material, plus the finest topsoil, compost, and humus. Thick Landscape Supplies, with 2 locations to serve you. Find out more at thicklandscapesupplies.com. Like us on Facebook. Now, let's get thick and busy. China just announced it's responding to President Trump's tariffs, raising its own tariffs on American goods to 125%. At retaliation coming after the White House had announced its tariff on Chinese goods is up to 125% on top of an existing 20% levy. City of Clio continuing under a boil water alert now that is expected to last until early tomorrow. City continuing to deal with as many as 3 recent water main breaks. Latest one in Clio said to be considered the worst of the 3. The previous 2 had occurred on South Mill Street and on New Street. The National Weather Service saying now that those powerful storms that rocked much of Michigan March the 30th included 13 tornadoes. Latest one officials found was in West Michigan, 2 miles north of Kent City. It was carrying 95-mile-an-hour winds, touch over 1.5 miles before dissipating, making it an EF1 twister. Pistons beat the Knicks last night, 115-106, as the Pistons are warming up for the playoffs, which start next week. They're taking on the Bucks tonight at Little Caesars Arena, tipping that one at 7 o'clock. Wings lost to Florida last night, 4-1, and the Wings' playoff hopes are dying fast. They are still alive, but only mathematically. They'll skate on the road tonight against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tigers are in Minnesota tonight to open a weekend series with the Twins. Great Lakes Loons defeated the Lugnuts in Lansing 3-2. Justin Rose is your leader, heading into today's second round at the Masters. Rose firing a 7-under in yesterday's opening round. And in college that you don't do that. That's against Augusta decorum. Oh, I see. Okay, all right. I mean, the people that run that tournament like decorum. In college hockey's Frozen Four, Western Michigan beat Denver in double overtime 3-2. The Broncos have never been to the Frozen Four before. Now they're going to the title game against Boston University tomorrow after BU beat Penn State 3-1. And to cap this one off, among the numbers showing up in yesterday's release of the monthly consumer price index was the price of eggs, now at a new record high, $6.23, despite a drop in wholesale prices and no egg farms having bird flu outbreaks. Business analysts saying that means you should not anticipate any immediate relief for your pocketbook since the demand for eggs typically rises until after Easter. That's 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox.
Every day, Hal, they add another tornado to that total.
Yeah.
It's been going up steadily. I guess they're still doing some surveying and trying to decide where there were actual tornadoes. So they're up to 13 now?
13 now. They say normally they've gotten this wrapped up long ago, but because of the sheer size and scope of the area they've had to deal with, that's made it difficult to catch up to everything.
And because of all of this, by the way, you can get a state tax extension if you're a victim of the catastrophic northern Michigan ice storm. A state tax extension. This doesn't help, I don't think, with federal taxes, but it's according to Governor Whitmer announcing this last week for individuals and businesses in the 12 counties that were affected by the emergency declaration. So there is at least that. I need to move north. I need the extension. 103.9 The Fox.
Plenty of sunshine in the outlook today, with highs reaching around 49, perhaps hitting 50 in some areas, with winds out of the north at 5 to 10, gusting at 18 miles an hour. Clear skies tonight, temps down around 28, and then it's sunshine again for much of the day tomorrow. We'll top out around 54. For Sunday, clouds return, along with, again, temps around 55. And right now it's 27 in Flint, and in Saginaw, 28.
Classic Rock Authority. 103.9.
A massive cleanup job apparently is continuing on Mackinac Island as well. For now, the state parkland, which makes up more than 80% of the island, is mostly closed to visitors. The cleanup job continuing, according to Dominic Miller, Chief of Marketing for Mackinac State Historic Parks. Man, I'll tell you, northern, lower Michigan and northern Michigan and the UP and Mackinac Island are just going to have it's going to take a year to recover from this.
Oh, easily. Easily.
Really nuts. All right, 8:04 right now. This is the 8 o'clock hour. We got the Scream coming up. If you've got something that's frustrating you, if you happen to live in the northern half of lower Michigan, I suppose you do, you're going to want to scream it all out of your system. Or if you guys have, a lot of people I know have places up north that are dealing with this.
Yes.
There could be Flint residents that are suffering from this as well.
And lots of people with canceled camping grounds.
The 20 state parks have canceled all of their camping reservations for now. So, yeah, it's crazy. 103.9 The Fox, good morning.
Well, Tina's got good news from the lemon tree. When there's a song written about that, it has a big lemon on it. Yeah. And now, live from Massachusetts is Sween Dog. Good morning to Sween Dog here on YouTube, just in time to catch up to our smile source named Huckleberry. Every dog has his day. Huckleberry's got it now going for him. He's a mini golden doodle who lives in Green Lawn, New York. What are the current odds on the Scream? You know, he's been real good about that, Billy. He's really been good about knowing about when the Scream is going to happen. So I'm not betting against him today. The odds would be real long that he would forget it. In fact, right now, I would say that the odds on him forgetting the Scream, and I'm going out on a limb here, I'm going to say that the odds of him forgetting the Scream today are about as long as they are the Red Wings making the playoffs at this point. That's what I'm thinking. And the reason why, I'm going to mention this again, the reason why this pen is here, according to this story, is that this little guy is prone to the zoomies, which I think Lily probably did as well in your home, despite being 16. Zoomies are a thing. You can get Jacko to do zoomies, but you really have to coax him. He doesn't really fire up on his own. He doesn't really just get inspired enough like some dogs do that just all of a sudden out of the blue start doing it. He's not one of those who does that. How about them Yankees the torpedo bats? They seem to handle them better than anybody else at this point, but now more and more people are catching on to those things. Those torpedo bats, which are a little fatter around the middle. They kind of look more like a softball bat. Some people say they look like a bowling pin or a torpedo, hence the name. But I tend to think they're kind of almost shaped like a softball bat in many ways. All right, let me take a second here. Then we're going to get to the food fight. But before we do that, I want to make sure that we are set up in the studio to get to those guys when it comes time to do our Friday morning primal scream, which I'm totally confident that he will remember to do today. Judge is going to hit a record this year, and he'll do it without steroids that anybody knows of. That's what's really amazing. Aaron Judge, he's talking about. If you're not a baseball fan, he's talking about Aaron Judge. By the way, I've got to relay the comments because he's on Twitch, and a lot of you are on YouTube at this point and are missing all of his gems about the Yankees, who, by the way, lost 2 of 3 to the Tigers. Just want to mention that when they were in Detroit. Although one of their guys, Cody Bellinger, came out with food poisoning from the hotel watching the basketball final last Monday and is swearing off of chicken wings for 5 years, he said. And he used to play up in Midland, up here, with our team, the Great Lakes Loons, that are up north of us. He was there, he played 11 years ago up there. So that's that. Tigers, no, they don't. The Tigers are fine. They just had a 5-game winning streak snap the other day, but they're off to a good start, and they're actually legitimately thought of to be a pennant contender this year, a title contender this year, based on how they turned things around so remarkably in the middle of August last year. Jacko still needs a... Yeah, he's getting to the point where we're almost done with that, Sween Dog. We've been still putting him in that tiger stripe coat that he gives me the side eye every time I put on him, but we're getting real close to not having to do that anymore, because 40 degrees is usually the spot where we stop doing it.
Flint's Classic Rock, 103.9 The Fox.
There we go. There we go. All right. Now, let's see here. All right. Let's go now to our pile of posts. Tina wants to know if she's the only one who's excited about this big lemon on her tree. I mean, do you realize what this is? This is almost Aaron Judge record home run territory when we're talking about this big lemon, this big fat lemon. Okay? On Tina's lemon tree. Very pretty. Like the song says it is. That's a lot of lemonade. I'm going to tell you what. Eric said we're playing Black Sabbath and Paranoid. Really? Yeah, I guess we are. Of course. Of course, on top of that. What am I thinking? Sween Dog was wearing a winter coat all week. We're to the point where we still need to do it. I mean, it's only 12. What is it now? Let me quickly get a temperature read here. It is at the moment 32 here in Flint. So we're still having to do that, and he's still at the point where he's got to wear his coat. Sween Dog, I almost had to send Jacko out looking for a police dog because our local county sheriff's department lost their police dog temporarily here. Just before we started up on our live stream this morning, we had to talk about how this police dog, Canine, had become lost in our area. I don't know why, or how, but he did. But he's been thankfully found. And a chance of snow tomorrow morning in Connecticut. You know, Billy D, over on Twitch, for those who don't see his comments, we have had either last year or the year before, I keep saying it was one of those 2 years because it was, where we actually had some snow falling in May around here. Not much. It wasn't, you didn't have to shovel it, but just the fact that it was available and visible in May was a little bit unsettling. But they did find him. Yes, they did find him. And honestly, I don't know how that happened. I don't know if they found him or if he came home. I don't know if he went back to the station, turned himself in, or what. And I still don't know if he was wearing a microchip. They had a description of him. It was one of those Malinois things. But I don't know if he had a microchip. Do they do that in those dogs? I don't know. Okay, 49 in Ohio reports Ohio Kim from an Ohio hospital this morning. Here's Johnny and Steph, and then after that, food fighting.
Black Sabbath, of course, coming up on 8:12. We're getting ready for the Friday morning primal scream at the bottom of the hour. If there's something that is really bugging you that you want to dedicate the Friday morning primal scream to, whether it be a news story or a family member or a coworker or anything in your life you got in a car wreck this week, you need to dedicate it to something that makes you want to scream. You can call us 810-230-9777 or just type it in the chat window you'll find on our 103.9 The Fox Facebook page. Tell us why you need to scream today, all right? We all know it's work and the weather and everything else, but go ahead and give us your personal story at 810-230-9777. Don't forget Fox Big Deals before you go out this weekend. Scream with joy when you see the half-off deals we offer you there. For your weekend entertainment, you can go out to restaurants, services, businesses, and more, and save up to half off, up to 50% at your favorite local businesses by going to foxbigdeals.com first, checking around, and then clicking the link at classicfox.com if you can't remember foxbigdeals.com. But foxbigdeals.com is the direct way to get there, and it's all nicely categorized for you and everything. And a lot of people like to go out to dinner on the weekends, and the high cost of eating out has kept them from doing that lately. And of course, taxes are due on Tuesday, so there's another reason.
Oh.
Did you get yours done, by the way?
Yes.
All right.
I did mine in February.
Well, I owe, but at least it's half what I owed last year, and it's
Good,
still a
well.
lot of money, but I'm going to be feeling a little better than I was last year when I write that stupid check out. It's 8:13 here. I'm waiting for all this surplus that all of these tariffs are going to bring in to fix my taxes next year.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll see about that.
That'll be next year.
Uh-huh.
It's always next year. You ever notice that? It's
Always.
Everything is always
Yep.
next year.
Yep.
Including usually the Detroit Lions. And, of course, we had to say that last year, too. And the Lions, though, as we look forward to this year, are going to win it all. And that's my prediction. I don't know why I decided to bring that up now, but it is one of those. It is. I have made the commitment again already. I did that last year, if you remember. Early in the year.
Yeah, we know how that went.
I bet the Lions in the Super Bowl, and, of course, that didn't pay off. But I'm going to do it again this year.
No, don't.
You think I jinxed it?
Yes.
No, there is no such thing. I do not
Yes,
believe
there
it.
is.
There is no such
Yes,
thing as a
there
jinx.
is.
No, there isn't. That is absolutely not true. So we are not going with it. I am not endorsing it.
Well, we are agreeing to disagree then.
It's 8:14.
102.9 The Fox streaming world.
And you know, Billy D points out to us on Twitch that this year's Easter Sunday is on 420. It's his birthday. How did you manage to arrange to get your birthday on 420, Billy D? Linda is with Steph, believing in jinxes, evidently. Okay, we'll get to the traffic, and food is going to follow that. Because I got a treasure trove of tweets here from lately. Tells a lot. You bet it does, Billy. Yeah, boy. You know, it's kind of like a common theme with what we have going on at this radio station, with its listenership and with the people who show up on this live stream. You notice that? 420 is a big day. It's on a Sunday this year, and that makes it doubly because of Easter and everything like that. I don't know. For me, Easter always meant Easter basket, colored eggs, jelly beans, chocolate eggs, and baseball cards. That's it. That's what Easter meant to me as a kid growing up. That's all it meant to me. That's what it always meant to me. Do I have traffic T-shirts? Asks Rob. Not specific to traffic, no. We did have T-shirts that we had available for sale and with proceeds going to a couple of the local animal shelters, but that was a while back. Those sold away. Eggs are good, Rob Suka says. They're also expensive. $6.23. That is the top average price of eggs now ever. Ever. Dale joining us now. Legal Dale joining us now from Arizona. Good morning to Legal Dale. Welcome to National Pet Day.
Outdoor Furnaces in Swartz Creek is your local mid-Michigan authorized Woodmaster dealer. Schedule your free estimate today by calling 810-569-0115 or by visiting them online at
And you can eat meat again, Sween Dog points out. You've been missing that, haven't you?
Workday is a sure sign of a bad day all around. So get your feet into the right
You've
kind
been
of
missing
football
that
shoes.
idea of
Find
meat
Folks at
eating.
Red Wing Shoes in Flint Township, where your work is their work. Red Wing boots make happy feet. Problem solved.
Could your high school senior or recent grad use free money for college or career training?
Sun's out.
Fund their
Thanks to
path
Sheila for the sunshine today.
scholarship.
Our
They'll qualify
atmospheric
for
administrator.
free community college, up to $27,500 at a university, or up to $4,000 for a career training program. Just fill out the FAFSA to apply. Get started at mi.gov.
I'm looking forward to
Brought to you
I'm looking forward to this one thing that I get to do a video for one of the brands that's sending me electronic stuff. It's a little receiver attached to these wireless earbuds that when you put that receiver out there and somebody like Rob Suka talks to you in his native language, I'll be able to hear it translated to me in my earbuds. So if I have to speak to somebody on the street who is not from this country and does not speak English, I can still understand what they're saying. And Billy D wants to remind one and all that a hot dog is not a sandwich. City of Flint, we got a new issue. This is a crash involving injury, the serious crash at MLK Avenue and Marengo Avenue. So it's going to be a slow spot through there for a bit. And we're also working Grand Blanc Township crash on southbound 75 just before the ramp to Dixie and Saginaw Road. For updated vehicle city traffic information, you can always check out classicfox.com/traffic. You'll find it there. And if you spot a crash yourself, let us know at 810-230-WRSR. That's 810-230-9777. Be a traffic tipster right here on 103.9 The Fox.
Now, is this NCAA settlement any closer to the finish line here on these revenue sharing things that they're talking about? Did you hear about this?
The revenue sharing.
The revenue sharing part. So it's not even just NIL now. What's happening now is the first year loan directly with their athletes. And get this, the NCAA is going to have to pay $2.8 billion to Division I athletes who played between 2016 and 2024 and weren't entitled to the full benefits of NIL. So people that have been out of school for 10 years now are all of a sudden going to get a windfall.
Wow.
If this goes, these are the terms of the settlement that they're working on.
Okay.
It is not your father's NCAA.
Man, that's crazy, Hal.
But I have a question. What if you're going to school on an athletic scholarship?
That's been an argument for a long time.
Yeah. Well, they most sports have a scholarship limit, but few of them have a limit on how many athletes they can roster.
Okay.
So under the new policy, they do, which would represent a drastic change for some sports. Consider cross country, where a lot of teams have 30-plus runners, many not on scholarship, and the new formal roster limit would be 17. I think that's to protect the colleges more than anything,
yeah.
because they're not going to have to pay out as much money then if they have fewer athletes to pay, right? The whole thing has got me flummoxed here, Hal. I don't know. I think we've got the Friday Morning Primal Scream dedicated to that coming up here in just a little while.
They'll be paid athletes.
They're basically, yes.
Have you seen how incredibly insane this transfer portal has become?
Yeah, it's become like, well, I don't want to play here this year because they're going to offer me more money over there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go over there.
Guys are playing. Once upon a time, you knew who the good teams were going to be because all their players stayed for the entire 4 years until they graduated. Now, there are guys who can play 4 and 5 different schools from beginning of college days to the end.
Yeah, and this is going to get crazy because they're going to make so much money. And I'll tell you what, now, I mean, your kid who just runs track might be able to take advantage of this. I mean, this is going to be all the athletes, as I'm understanding it, Hal.
Sure.
Those roster limits are the major sticking point, by the way. So that's what they're waiting to see, how this whole plays out. But the $2.8 billion that the NCAA is going to have to pay to past athletes that weren't in NIL.
So that's retroactive.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Hal, what's going to stop that? Why did they pick 2016? If I played in 2005, why wouldn't I sue them after that?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, the whole thing is going to just blow up college athletics, I think.
I mean, there was that one time when this group of football players from Northwestern wanted to form a union situation.
I remember that. Wasn't NIL the answer to that, really?
Eventually.
In a lot of ways. All right, here we go. Oh, man, the world is changing too fast for me. Stop the world, I want to get off.
Easy. It'll be okay.
Meanwhile, we toil in what we do because we love it.
That's right.
Exactly
We
that.
are dedicated, but we certainly aren't here for the pay. 103.9 The Fox.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's the reason why these kids are transferring from school. Is, some of them do that because they want to be able to be assured that they're going to get to play. And if they are at a school where there's somebody who plays their own position, maybe better, meaning they are not going to get to play nearly as much as they feel they should or want to, they just simply, instead of work harder to try to get better so that they can beat out the guy for their position, they just simply transfer to a different school where the competition isn't as heavy at their position. And they go there. And then when they go there, they're paid to do it by the school that is receiving them under this NIL, name, image, and likeness situation, which allows these kids to get paid money on top of a full ride scholarship. Go to BJ's $9.98 for 2 dozen good eggs, says Tina. They transfer to Rutgers, says Billy. Rutgers pays a lot of money for their athletes, as you can tell. They've gotten better real quick. Particularly their football team has gotten way better in recent years. Why is that? How much money are they putting out for their football players that they get these days? What is for supper tonight, says Sween Dog. I don't know. What would you like it to be? Here's what we've got going on in having to do with food from our pile of posts here. Christoph says mayonnaise is straight trash. That should be uninvented. Mayonnaise is straight trash that should be uninvented. Billy says Rutgers pays them in White Castles. Yeah, you could do worse. Those sliders were good. People went out of their way for those things. I remember I had a White Castle growing up in Detroit. There was a White Castle within walking distance. It wasn't considered the thing that it is, the delicacy that it is now. We just got them because they were available and they were cheap. I think they were like 12 or 14 cents at the time for one of those things. Ohio Kim agrees with that. About the mayonnaise? Mayonnaise is straight trash. It should be uninvented. Siku 1994 says starving is more pleasant than German food. Starving is more pleasant than German food. Okay, Linda's given the thumbs up, which goes back to the original name of thumbs. Was that to the mayonnaise comment or the German food comment? I have to try to keep these together because YouTube, you guys are getting for whatever reason, what I'm saying is taking so long to get to you that it takes an hour for you to be able to respond to what I'm looking for. There's a yes here, there's a yes there, there's a what there from Linda. Rob Suka said yes. Kim says yes on this business. Starving is more pleasant than German food, but now Kim says not all German food is bad. Ohio Kim says not all German food is bad. Okay? I'm trying to think if I've ever had anything that was the authentic German. Sween Dog likes mayonnaise. Oh, the mayo comment for Linda. Okay. Meaning that it should be uninvented. That wouldn't please Sween Dog. He likes mayonnaise. Yes, starving. Starving is better than German food, says this guy. Another one. Ephraim says, American bagels are just rolls with holes. American bagels are just rolls with holes. Oh, you like those? American bagels are just rolls with holes. Eric agrees with that. I assume that's what he agrees with. Sween Dog is a yes on that one. Rob Suka likes bagels. Do you like Finnish bagels or American bagels, Rob Suka? Is there a difference, I wonder? Linda thinks rolls are good. Rolls are good. So, okay, if it's rolls with holes, that's fine. That's fine. Sween Dog likes all bagels. All of them. Okay, here's one for you. Here's Finnish bagels. I wonder if they're different from American bagels in some way, but apparently that's something unique to your country. A front for the Danish Mafia is the name of this tweeter. A front for the Danish Mafia, who says, peanut butter, bananas, and avocados are the three worst foods on earth. Peanut butter, bananas, and avocados are the three worst foods on earth. So imagine what it was like to put peanut butter and bananas together, Elvis. Eric disagrees with that. Eric disagrees with that assessment. Peanut butter, bananas, and avocados. Three worst foods on earth. Kim says bagels are good. Now, again, we're back. See, one comment ago. Bagels are good. says Ohio Kim.
Trivia every Wednesday night. Thursday night is Cornhole plus Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. DJ Bubbles always keeps you dancing. Friday night, don't miss the acoustic sounds of Barry Foster live.
We move on to the next one from Rye Cotton.
Plus, make sure you purchase 4 $15 certificates for food and beverage, including
Roy Cotton says
Fox Big Deals.
peanut butter banana on a bagel is yummo to Linda. Peanut butter banana on a bagel. Okay. Well, let me give you this one from Rye Cotton after we find out what they're playing next year.
If you want to scream about the weather, go ahead, but it's not all that bad, actually. Today we're getting up to about 49 degrees under sunny skies. It'll be a little breezy, but not a big deal. Clear tonight down to 28, sunny and 54 tomorrow. On Sunday, mostly cloudy, a little breezy, but 55 degrees. Probably see 60 on Monday, but in the 40s on Tuesday. So the roller coaster continues, but
You giveth and then you taketh away.
kind of do. But this weekend's not all that bad. In fact, it'll be fairly nice, I think, tomorrow. Really, sunny and 54 is going to feel even better. It's Survivor right now, just ahead of the Friday morning Primal Scream on 103.9 The Fox.
See, Billy, he's going to know it. He's going to remember it. He's going to remember it. He's going to do it. Linda says peanut butter banana on a bagel is yummo and toast that bagel. Tina loves mayo. Jeez. Tina loves mayo. Okay. That was like 5 comments ago. Okay, so bad for you, but it's good. Swain Dog says, what is? We got to figure out a way to get you guys to clarify what you're talking about, because you're commenting on some things that might be one comment or from one of the food comments or maybe another one or 5 comments ago. We're getting to that point now where it's starting to become chaotic around here doing this bit. All right, let me give you again, Rye Cotton. I told you this is the guy that tweeted it, but I never said what it was. Chips and salsa can be eaten as a meal. Chips and salsa can be eaten as a meal. And Tina thinks that some German food is good. This is our master chef. See, I go back to this. You know, if Tina had been here on this list, that was our closing credits back in the day. You're seeing it backwards now. But these go back 8, 9, 10 years when we were doing this on Periscope, and everybody had a job. If you were going to be on this app, you were going to be on this live stream, you had to have a job. We gave you one. Tina would have been the master chef. That's what it was. Eric agrees. He loves chips and salsa. Chips and salsa can be eaten as a meal, says Rye Cotton. Chips and salsa can be eaten as a meal. Adam Pannenberg says corn chips are filling yellow or white corn. Sween Dog says. Linda says upside down. Actually, yeah, backwards. Well, this was backwards, this thing here. Here. Show this to you again. For those who didn't see, because there are a few of you who showed, hold on, I got to get this thing back to power again. For whatever stupid reason, this thing just doesn't power as well as it should. Back once upon a time, we would close the shows with our credits and all the people that were working on this production to turn this into the live stream that it was. And it was incredibly popular at that time. These were the people who got all primarily, even though there were other people involved, there's always a army of people that make this kind of thing happen, but these are the people that always got their names on there. But we're saying that we should have probably added a few more along the way, and so we're kind of trying to make that up a little bit right now. Okay, let me show you now this one. Adam Pannenberg says blue cheese is a moldy, disgusting abomination. Blue cheese is a moldy, disgusting abomination.
Tiger, you'll have that when you get that extra grand from us on a $1,000 Thursday. We've had 2 of those already. Yesterday, Todd Gooding of Swartz Creek picked up the $1,000. He was one of the 16 finalists in that. We started signing people up again this morning at 7:20 for the next one, which will be coming up week number 3 in play here now. You've got 3 more opportunities today after the 7:20 initial opportunity you had this morning. We're going to give you 3 more, 11:20, 2:20, and 5:20. Same. Then we take a break for the weekend, and we start it all up again Monday morning at 7:20. So you can be eligible for that by Thursday when we have the $1,000 drawing. It's the spring of Ka-ching on 103.9 The Fox, giving away $1,000 every Thursday now. So make sure you get your share of that by getting in on it, and you'll have your next chance today at 11:20 with Steve Driver to do that here on the Fox. Now, as far as chances to do something, want to scream it out of your system, whatever is frustrating you. It's tax day on Tuesday has certainly got a lot of people all ticked off, and there are a few things. This story just, I don't even know how to get into this story.
What?
Khloe Kardashian's screaming this morning.
Ugh.
And she's screaming about her ex-husband, Lamar Odom. Apparently, and this is probably on the internet somewhere, but thankfully I don't follow these weirdos. But she's screaming at him because he got a creepy bowling doll that looks exactly like her.
Ew.
It's kind of creepy because, those things are fake and made of plastic, and then so are the dolls.
I know.
Yeah.
Why are they even still a thing? That's what I'm going to scream about.
If the doll has more personality than Khloe, I'm
Good.
sure. Yeah.
God.
But yes, that's just freaking me out here. And it was almost too creepy to even talk about. But
Well, I'm glad you managed. Thank you.
we did something one time that was kind of a little, not this crazy, but kind of like it. A friend of ours, a mutual friend, Stan, you know Stan.
I
my
do.
friend Stan.
Yes, I do.
My wife and I are godparents to his kids, and my wife watched them when they were young because both the parents worked. So she was kind of like their nanny. And we, one of the first Christmases we had with them, I don't know why I decided to do this, but I took a picture of him, their oldest son, his face, and I printed it on a doll, a cloth doll that we made, all right, to give him as a toy. But it was kind of creepy because we're carrying this doll around that had his face on it, and I felt kind of creeped out by the whole thing after we did it. We thought it would be a cool idea.
Yeah, until you saw it.
Until I saw it.
Yeah.
And until we started, I don't know whatever happened to that doll. I suspect that they probably buried it somewhere.
It's probably under a maple tree somewhere.
Exactly. It's one of those things that after the fact you just
I know.
you thought it was such a great idea up front, and then when you think about it, I'm giving them a doll of their, and they know I worked on this, and it was life size too, by the way.
Oh, nothing creepy about that.
And I thought, this is kind of creepy. All right, so let's scream about Chloe's version of that, not mine, coming up here next on the Fox.
Yes. Lori, our biker chick, Lori Ann, is here on Facebook. You don't see her. She's looking forward to the Primal Screaming moments. And also, you've also lost, if you're on YouTube, you've lost Tina because she says YouTube's so way behind. She's fled to Twitch so that her comments can be seen. So we're going to give you one more. We're going to try one more for you before the scream. Mark Malkin says that mushrooms are disgusting. They taste like dirt, and don't even get me started on kale. Mushrooms are disgusting. They taste like dirt, and don't even get me started on kale. Yes, Rapsuka, the comments on YouTube do seem to be slow today. Sort of. Sweendog loves them. Where do we find these people, asks Billy. All over the internet. You've been on there once or twice, haven't you? Billy's on Twitch right now, but you've been on the internet long enough to know that they're everywhere. Half of them call our show. Tina says, and she's on Twitch now, so she actually caught this comment right away and says it depends on how you cook them. Wash them first. This is our master chef. We've anointed Tina the master chef here. These people all had jobs all these years ago, 8, 9, 10 years ago, and back in the days when we had our credits, closing credits. And, like Billy D's, our left-handed traffic reporter. He's been that forever. Tina's our master chef now. And Ohio Kim loves mushrooms. Got to get the magic ones, those Sweendog says. The magic ones. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah. The magic ones. We've got the scream coming up. Linda wants to scream because she thinks this is too short. We don't talk about food nearly enough on this thing.
Now's a great time to stock up on Del Monte canned
Not nearly enough.
Select varieties are on sale for only $1 each with your card. Kroger. Fresh.
Rob Suka thought you were funny, Tina, with that comment.
Suffering from chronic back or
You don't see him anymore because you're off of YouTube where it's slow.
educational seminar about the future of spine health and motion preservation surgery.
Tina says to you, Louise, that it's true, that your comment's true.
Attend this event led by
Now I'm
Dr. Mark
back to the point where we're having to relay the
Surgery.
messages here.
Motion preservation surgery is transforming
Yes, that's for
lives
Linda,
by
right.
relieving chronic pain. Register for this free virtual event.
Swing Dog says Rob Suka is our bartender today. Yeah, he could take it over.
Center for brain
Thing is, he drink all the profits. If you had a whole corner full of Fireball, he's drinking all the profits from the Hal Hole Saloon.
Buy, rent, or lease.
Always does.
And our prices will not be beat. Only at Premier Rental Purchase in Owasso.
Okay,
Online at Owasso
get ready. On National Pet Day, we're going to be doing in a minute after the commercials are done. We're going to be screaming. Starting our weekend on the 11th of April. 32 degrees with sunshine outside my window right now. Still, winter coat weather for Jacko. He won't be happy about it. He will not be happy about it. Yeah, he does love those Fireballs. They don't think he orders. You know? We say, everybody knows your name. We always know your drink order. We do with him. He goes. Just ahead of the Friday morning Primal Scream, we've got two problems to point you to in the city of Flint. We have a crash on Dort Highway at Mohawk Avenue that could slow you. And in the case of this one, we also have an injury involved. So an area to steer clear of while they're taking care of it on MLK Avenue and Marengo Avenue. At the moment, we're doing fine on the freeways. No reports of any crashes or unusual delays. And for that updated vehicle city traffic information, you simply check out classicfox.com/traffic. And if you spot a crash, let us know at 810-230-WRSR. That is 810-230-9777 to be a traffic tipster right here on 103.9 The Fox. I guess we're ready to go.
They're screaming pretty hard in Britain now, by the way. There's a reporter from the Daily Mail calling Meghan Markle's new As Ever brand products a massive ripoff. Apparently, Meghan is somehow conning consumers even more than she conned the royal family now.
You know what? She's like the new Gwyneth Paltrow.
You know what? You're right. You're right. That's a great comparison.
Yep, she's the new Gwyneth Paltrow.
It's going to get on our nerves over time.
Do you wanna do the dishes? No, I don't wanna do that. Do you wanna go to church? No, I don't wanna do that. Do you wanna buy insurance? No, I don't wanna do that. Do you wanna make the bed? No, I don't wanna do that. Do you wanna get married? No, I don't wanna do that. Do you wanna eat sushi? No, I don't wanna do that. Do you wanna go to Illinois? No, I don't wanna do that. Do you wanna do a shot with me?
And of course, the fans of the Dallas Mavericks are screaming because of that Luka Doncic trade that happened about, at the beginning of the season where they got rid of the greatest basketball player out there right now, and they turned him off to L.A. of all places to give him to LeBron James out there. Well, Luka went back home this week to play against his old team and scored 45 points. And the fans of the Dallas Mavericks were standing up applauding. They gave him a standing O, even though he beat their team.
Yeah.
That's how bad they are. That's how upset they are. The local residents were surprised because it seems like every day somebody from California invades Texas, but that's what they so they gave him support when he was there, and Luka was in tears. He was crying.
Really?
Of all the support he got from him. Of course, that's also because he has to watch LeBron every day. LeBron flopping every night.
Tub full of blackberry brandy with Cindy Crawford.
Yes, I'm on my way, Cindy.
No, she called. She needs tonight off.
We have a standing appointment.
Not tonight, you don't.
All right, it's not a standing appointment. All right, let's get going. No matter where you are, what you're doing, the idea is to scream it out of your system. And all you got to do is do it with us on the count of three. But think about whatever it is that's stressing you out, because that's the way to get rid of that stress. This is something psychologists do. The University of Michigan actually did a study on it and said it really does work. So let's get rid of the stress. Everybody's stressed out these days. So I'll do it together. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Residents attended a town hall meeting on Long Island this week to protest plans to open a marijuana dispensary, while a large group of supporters showed up the next day. So when
Uber this week released their annual list of items customers left behind in their cars, and there's some incredible stuff. Some of the belongings passengers left in their Ubers include a mannequin head, a chainsaw, a ghost trap from Ghostbusters, Shrek ears, a urinal. Someone left a bottle of fresh breast milk, which I have two questions for that. How do they know it was breast milk? And more concerningly, how did they know it was fresh?
Florida middle school principal was arrested over the weekend for allegedly shoplifting at Walmart. He could face up to 2 years in prison, but he's asking for 5.
James Brown been singing 20 years. I don't know what James is talking about. I met him once at Saturday Night Live. I walked up and said, James, I love your stuff. James said, that is it. At the end of every sentence, he ended up with everything. You get mad, you start putting the needle back saying, what did I just miss? How the people say, that's a James Brown lyric. He'd write the song, say, I need a word here. That's good. And get this song going, all the songs sounded the same. Jamie goes, sound it up. All the people think I'm a dog or the mind. Shit, did he hear you? Sound don't know. Well, it is. That's what people know here now. People say, jump back, want to kill myself.
Hey, that's it, guys. Thank you very much for your attendance, your attention. Hanging out on Friday, getting ready for the start of the weekend here, and we are getting closer and closer to, well, we're getting closer and closer to Easter for one, and then we're getting closer and closer to, we're only got 6 weeks now away from the start of the unofficial summer season here certainly in Michigan and most of the rest of the country as well when we get to the Memorial Day holiday weekend. But again, that's 6 weeks off. We still got some things to do in terms of getting warmer. It's not happening around here yet, but we'll be in the 50s. Hopefully you're going to have yourself a nice, pleasant, peaceful, productive day and weekend. And then join us back here again on our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch simul stream. And hopefully YouTube's little faster than it was today for everybody. For the have to figure out a way to make that a little more of an orderly gathering for that. All right, guys, thank you very much. Have yourself a great day and weekend, and come back to the Hal Hole on Monday with all your friends, the Hal Raisers. Okay.